Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do another still life, tabletop still life, but rather than use the large format camera, I'm going to use a pinhole camera and just experiment and see if I can get a nice artistic shot, something a little different from the normal, as you might say. The setup is again the black backdrop, which I've fastened and taped together, and hopefully that will give it a nice darkish background, because I'm going to be photographing some flowers. Now I've just bought a new item, and this is the tripod. It's the what is it, a K&F Concept tripod, and so far I'm really impressed with this. It's an aluminium one, but it's very light and it's very versatile, and you'll see why as I'm setting this picture up. So first of all, I'm going to set the subject for the picture up, and that's going to be these tulips. Now what I've to be careful of is not to get the camera too close or too far away. Just want to try and get it right. But a lot of this is going to be a guesstimate as much as being accurate. You know, I'm going to have to sort of line up the pinhole. I'll do it with a rule and just try and line it up to see if I can get everything in. I've got to be careful with the lighting because I want it to be quite even. Now normally when I've been doing still life, I've been just using this LED light and bouncing it off the wall, but when I'm looking at it, it's getting too bright at this side, so I want a more of an even light. So to do that, I'm thinking of turning the light round this way, open up the flaps, these barn doors, and then just probably bouncing some light back into the subject, and I can see that's actually working. Is that something to rest it on? That'll do. I'll know better when I actually turn the lights off. So that's giving a more of an even lighting on the backdrop. I don't want it to be, you know, different at the top to the bottom if I can help that. So I'll get the tripod set up, and you'll see why it's quite versatile, this tripod. If I put it up to that height, and then there's another extension that comes out, and you can rotate that, and I can get over the subject quite easily with it. So that makes it a very versatile tripod, this. I'm really pleased with it. It was I paid from Amazon £100 for this, £103 actually, and I think it's excellent value for money. There are reviews of these tripods on YouTube, so check them out if you're after one. Don't be paying a fortune for a tripod. Right, so get the pinhole camera. Just attach the tripod and then place it something like that. I'm using it at the 75mm setting, so just make sure that the correct pinhole's lined up, which it is. Right. I want to be centre with the flowers. Roughly as level as I can get it. That's okay. I'll put the dark slide in while I'm Saves me moving it when I get it set up. Excuse that noise, it's the washing machine going off in the other room. Right, I'm just going to turn the lights off and have a little look. That's looking pretty even. There's the lighting. There are no creases in this bottom part. You could do with a little bit more light from this side. So I've got one of these little lights I showed you in a previous video. It's just a little LED light. They're only cheap from eBay, but they do come in handy. And you've got 3 levels of lighting with them. So I'm going to place that there, and I'll probably diffuse that light with a bit of tissue. That's the brightest setting. Let's move that so it's out of frame. Then just check the lighting now. And that's looking a lot better now. That's looking quite even. Now to check if I've actually got the camera set correctly, just roughly, I'm using a steel rule. I'm going to be looking from roughly this angle here to there, so it's looking down this line here. So it looks like it's coming down that way, so I will get all that in there. I'll just move that for a second. And then this side, from the centre back to the front of a camera, that's running that way. And I should just get that flower in there. And this is the same at this side, so I should get that in as well. Right. Put that light back in and take a light meter reading. This is a tricky one to meter, so I think what I'm going to do is meter off a grey card. So light meter, grey card. I'm using the Fuji across to take this picture. I'm quite fortunate. I bought a few boxes of the Fuji across in 4x5 sheet film before they stopped making it, unfortunately. Fuji, it's a fantastic film, but I'm going to use it and it'll keep the exposure time to a minimum, because there's not that much reciprocity failure with it across, not like other traditional films. So I'm going to place the grey card up to the flowers and then take a spot reading of those, and I'm doing it at f22, and I'm getting 8 seconds at f22. Now let me look at the background. I'll put it in EV mode just to check where the background's going to fall. So that's EV6, the background's EV4, so the background's going to be a couple of stops darker. The flowers, the yellow part, that's going to be the brightest part of the flowers. Take a reading from this is the brightest area. EV7, 6. Those flowers are going to be roughly a stop and a half brighter than the actual leaves on the plant, and the background is going to be darker by about 2 stops to that. So I'm going to go for 8 seconds. 8 seconds at f22. Now check my phone app for that. Let's have a little look. You've seen me use this before. I go into the I call my pictures, and then I bring up these charts. So we're looking at this 8 seconds is 12, we'll call it 13 minutes, it's 12 minutes 51 seconds. Now Fuji Cross, when you go over 2 minutes, you had half the time onto that exposure what you get. So I'm getting 13 minutes, so I had to add half that time onto that exposure, which is 6.5 minutes. And I think I'm just going to call this exposure 20 minutes. So it's a 20-minute exposure, and it's to f216. Right, got the cable release attached. The lights are on. Move that card out. Just double checking everything's okay. I think I'll get it in at that distance, get the flowers in. You see, using the pinhole camera this way, you're not going to get loads of detail. You're going for more of an artistic effect. So rather than me just pointing the camera straight at the, straight onto the flowers, I've decided to go for this angle. That'll give another perspective to the image itself, and hopefully it might create this artistic look to it. But we never know, you've got to try these things. So I'll set the exposure and get my timer. And set the exposure. So 20 minutes, here we go. Right, sit about, go make a cup of tea and wait till the exposure is finished, and then get the negative developed, and I'll show you that. Hopefully it will have turned out. Right, it's coming up to the last few seconds. There we go. Right, put the dark slide back in. And that's it. 20 minutes exposure, f216 on Fuji Across film, and I'm going to again be developing it in Pyrocat HD. The dilution will be 1 to 1 to 100, and see how it turns out. Right, I'll show you the picture, get it developed and show you the picture now. Looking good, that. Got all the flowers in. I've got a little bit of I think it's probably that side on the edge a little bit, but that's no problem, I can crop that out. So maybe I can just show you the negative. Obviously it's not right where. You can just see that I've got all the flower in. I've got this nice dark background and it looks quite even on the negative. So I'm very pleased with that. Right, wait for it to dry. Get it scanned and edited and let you see the finished result. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video and picked a few tips up on the way. And as you can see, the pinhole camera is quite a versatile camera, a capable camera, and you can do you know, tabletop still life using one. If you get things set up right and just put a thought into it, you can produce some really unique looking pictures. You know, there are people out there that don't consider the pinhole camera to be a serious photographic tool, but you know, they're wrong. It is a serious photographic tool. You know, the time that it takes you to take a picture, the thinking, the setting up, the exposure, all this has to be done to get to the end result. And if you do get it right, they produce these timeless, soft, quite unique images. So, you know, if you've never tried pinhole photography, give it a go. I'm sure you would enjoy it. Now, as you've seen, I'm going to put this picture up or print for sale on eBay for auction. So if you want to help support my channel, please put a bid in. I'll leave a link in the description. I've already printed the image out at 16 by 12 and it looks absolutely beautiful. So if you're interested, as I say, just put a bid in. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you. And subscribe to my channel. You know, I'm nearly up to 2,000 subscribers now, and this has gone so much better than I could have ever imagined. And with your help, if you subscribe, the sooner I get to that 2,000 subscriber figure. So as I say, thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video.